even put my life on this road. I be spilling my soul on verses they say it shows. That's why they can feel the pain in my voice when they at my show. So you walk in my shoes, they really got shit to lose when you already in debt. In this college thing, all you know, man, I see it different than most. I just wanna cry. Whole life looking up at the sun like I wanna shine. And my ex-girl now, she wanna sign. And I ain't having to give her, too busy going for mine. I mean, it's kinda ironic, my dreams be keeping me up at night. I got an old soul, I got a lust for life. I got old hoes, only stuck with twice. And if I never do anything else, make sure I fuck them right. This life I'm living is nothing like what I used to know. People that I used to see in places that I used to go are no longer important. Cause I just can't ignore the fact that I've been in these Jordan Super 4 months to afford them all them old songs I'm recording. All that money we set aside just for me to drop out of college and you let it ride. So the only people who fail are the ones who never tried. And now the big is crazy, it's like he never died. Reminisce over drum kicks, cause I can't say the same for all the niggas I hung with. And I ain't smiled in the picture in a while. You ever tried to console a mother bearing a child? You ever sat in the lobby of that hospital room, praying that your partner don't die from a bullet wound? You ever watched your ex-girlfriend battle with cancer? You ever talked to God and got pissed cause he never answered? Just trying to clear my mind. Everybody got a different sign to sign. But the fact of the matter is I refuse to wait in line for niggas who ain't even invest a dime. Take them back when I was 9. Couldn't even write them 8-bar rap. I met Nookie in the 7th grade. Cocking baseball cap. And only 6 people gon' catch that line. And I can keep counting down, but I'ma say that for the next go round. Ain't one mic nigga is Esco side. I'm rambling now. It's 21 years, I'm panicking now. I got older and realized that all the niggas that I
hey man, can you what's going on, my good brother? What's going on, my good brother Anthony? Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? I'm trying something new, man. I bought me a mixer. I'm trying to see. Can you hear me? Uh-oh, maybe y'all can't. I got to undo it. Let me see.
Bluetooth mode. Bluetooth mode ready to pair.
Can you hear me? I don't know if y'all can hear me or not, man. I'm trying something new and ain't nobody saying it. I guess that means you can't. Let me see. I was trying something new for a better experience. So I thought it would be something better. Oh, can y'all hear me? Oh, you can hear me. Okay, that's good. I mean, my music and everything, it didn't come out right. It didn't sound right. Was it low? Well, I'm about to call the barber now. I'm about to call the barber now so he can come on. Yeah, so he can come on. All right. It was low. I might have to figure out how to fix it. I'm trying something new. Let me know if this is low, Anthony. I'm going to try something right quick. I thought I had everything set up right. Let me know if this is low. Is that low? Is that low? Let me know if this low. Oh, that was loud? That's loud right there? That's loud? Oh, okay. I'm going to have to fix my music. What you mean, kind of what? Kind of loud, kind of low, kind of what? On it. You say kind. I done asked about 3 questions. You say kind of what? Boy, people from people with the yellow tint. I'm calling the barber right now. I got to figure out how to get my music up loud.
Good afternoon, Bakari.
What's going on there, my good brother? Let's give him
Not a
a
whole lot.
1 second. Let's give my man Baba Ogundabade, Pat Bennett, a round of applause before he get going. Come on, y'all, give him a hand. What's going on there? What's going on, Baba? You on live? They can hear you.
They can hear me now?
Yeah, y'all can hear him, right? You know, it's a delay, so when I ask a question, I be forgetting it's a delay. I have to wait. So,
Okay.
can y'all hear him? Say something. Talk to me. If you talk to me, I'll talk back. Yeah, they can hear you.
Okay.
So can we start with the? I want to start and I want to open and close with the prayer.
Okay. Majuba Ifa, Majuba Odome, Majuba Oromila, Majuba Odofia, Majuba all of our ancestors, Majuba all Babylons, the divine words of Ifa, and Majuba the owner of the day. Majuba is a word saying I salute. And we're going to the various people that we're talking about, that we're giving honor to. I'd like to talk about, I guess you say the Blessed Mother. I really wanted to do it last week, but we weren't on the air. And the feminine energy that's so very important, so vital, it makes things click. All in the universe, our reality. And when it comes to the Orisha, it would be Oshun. If we were in India, it'd be Maya Lakshmi. I'll repeat that word, Maya Lakshmi. The Christians talk about Mary, the Virgin Mother. There's so many different, how can I say, women that are brought to the fore, to the front, that when we talk about the Blessed Mother. And that feminine energy is very much needed, especially in nature and in our own lives. Many times we think we are apart from nature, but we aren't. If you ever have the opportunity, I'll put it like that, to study honeybees, you'll see that the beehive does not function without a queen. Why? Because she's constantly in age, she's constantly producing, she keeps that hive going. If the queen is not there, it's the same situation. If the mother of the house, or the feminine factor in the house, is not functioning properly, the household, as we know it to be, is not there. There was a song some years ago talking about a house is not a home. Talking about a house, a dwelling is not really a home without the feminine factor there. Oshun was insulted one time by Shango, some of the other
male Orisha, and everybody came down to earth to do a job. Shango, Ogun, uh, all of them. They all came to do a job, and Oshun was one of them. And they insulted Oshun. That was the worst thing in the world you can do is insult. When the fact that your mother, your grandmother, whoever that feminine person might be, that woman might be, that's the worst thing in the world to do, is to offend her. And she stepped to the side now. Oshun brings the sweet water, meaning the rain. You need water to drink. You need water to crop. You need water to exist on the planet. And she moved to the side. She felt that she wasn't needed. So Ogundabade, who was God, when he looked around, he saw the desert was there and things had dried up and everything's in chaos. He wanted to know, well, what happened? And Ocean said, well, they said they didn't need me. He looked around, shook his head. He asked her to forgive them because they really didn't know what they were talking about or what they were doing. She forgave him, but she said, don't ever let it happen again. And the point of the matter I'm saying is, what we know with Orisha, what we know with spirituality, what we know with anything as far as life goes, the feminine factor is there and needs to always be respected. You can't really do without. You say, used to be the expression, I can't live with them, I can't live without them. That's the street version. But the fact is, it remains, it doesn't function. Your life, in essence, doesn't function too well without water, Mother Earth. You call her Mother Earth for a reason. You're not going to live too well without Mother Earth being in place. That's when they talk about the world's in chaos. And the earth of itself is an Orisha. See, a lot of times when we talk about Orisha, we talk about, the male aspect. We don't talk about Oya. We don't talk about Yaboya. For the most part, we mention Oshun, but we don't think about Ile, which is the earth, as an important factor until everything goes crazy. Everything goes crazy when the earth has been messed with. So the very planet, the foundation, to tell people how can I say, the altar of Almighty God itself is the earth. People look for altars to make this and altars to make that, and presentation of altars. That altar that you look for and you have to appreciate is the earth. When you put things on the earth, you're putting it on the very foundation of creation.
You know, this is probably this is very important that you spoke on the feminine energy that's needed, especially right now in these social media spaces with the gender war that's going on. You meet so many black men on social media that act as if it's almost like they hate the black woman or they're jealous of the black woman. And I wish more of them was on here now listening, so they could hear what you are saying, because some of our men seem like they have forgotten about the importance of a woman. Uh, it's almost as if we have just feel like we have gotten in a lot of ways, and this is another way that we are just straight like Europeans. You just want to control your woman, tell her shut up, she can't talk, you don't do nothing. Uh, I don't know what has caused that change, but there's been a change the way black men deal with their women. So I want to know, since we're speaking on the feminine energy, and I know I'm not sure you on social media a lot, but if you're not, what would you have to say about something like that? Even if you just heard the conversations.
Well, let's say this. Unfortunately, and I say this to many people, we have forgotten so much, intentionally miseducated. I think of a book called Miseducation of Black Man. We've been so miseducated, uneducated, that it's truly a shame. We don't know. We know the word sacrifice. Okay, I'm gonna give up this, that. I have to sacrifice my time to make this up. I got to do this, that, and the other. But the actual word for sacrifice, when you talk about, as I speak of sacrifice, oh, you believe in that? That's voodoo. When you go back to the beginning, and we're past the beginning, we're here now. Son, go fly. In order to get now together, you got to go back and forget and remember. Forget what you forgot or what you don't remember anymore. And over the generations, unless it's repeated and the torch is handed down, my father to me to my sons to their sons, as well as the daughters, the mothers to their daughters, the grandmothers, and on, you're going to be in bad shape. See, I was very fortunate. I had both of my grandmothers. I didn't know my grandfather, but I knew my grandmothers. And they were, in their own way, disciplinary on a spiritual level. One could say they coddled, they nursed, they loved, they all that good stuff that I don't even know if it goes on today. And everybody, we are an animal. Yes, I say animal that needs affection. We need to be touched. We need to be touched by both masculine and feminine to balance us out. A lot of women will talk about, say, I don't need a man. And they'll find a way, I don't need a man, I'm going to freeze my eggs and do whatever they do and plant and have a child without a man. You still need the sperm. Humanity is off course. You talk about the men talking about their wives, their mothers, just in a certain way. It's how they were not nurtured, how they were not loved. Okay, how they weren't loved. Some out of no fault of their own. Some by it just happened. They weren't loved correctly. And then you got the rap and the gangster and this, that, and the other. And like I just stand and look. I mean, it's almost like I'm a stranger in this world. You know, if you hear long enough and you see enough go down, you stop and wonder, say, like, what the hell? It wasn't like this before. I used to hear people speak about that, and I used to look at them because I was, a teenager, young adult. I know what they're talking about. But if you hear long enough, you too will say those words because it doesn't stop. Marvin Gaye had a record out back in the 70s. What's going on? That record, that music, those words, is nothing changed. Stevie Wonder has one called Ads. And I think he put it out in the 70s also. Nothing is changing with those two gentlemen, except for Marvin's not here, but those records that they put out, it's nothing changed. Nothing has changed. And you have Nas said, his point, if I could rule the world, so and so and so, if I could rule this world, the difference it would make. But you still need that feminine factor to balance. I don't know if people really realize that women shouldn't have the ego split and think, well, I'm all that in a bag of popcorn. No, we need to balance one another. A man, if he's not loved by his mother or have that feminine love, he's not going to really know how to love a woman. Oh, sexually, he might get it together, but emotionally, to understand her. And it's a whole program to understand a woman. Simply, I'm not trying to be funny. Left brain, right brain hemisphere work simultaneously. Where with a man, just one side works at a time. Either your right side is going to work, period, or your left side. You can't do that bicycle thing where your mind is fluctuating like a woman. I don't care what your orientation might be, or you might want it to be. Or you might say you're trapped in this body or that body. That's another conversation. But as far as the feminine and the masculine, they're both needed. But men are going to act that way if they don't know how to act, if they haven't been exposed, if they haven't been disciplined. So if you come from a household where your father sincere or your grandfather, there's no man to discipline. This is presence. or a woman, her presence. I had aunts that were there in my life. In fact, I had an aunt that was more of a family to me than my own blood family, but she was there in my life. She was around me and she would, hug me and kiss me, whatever. She understood, even if my father's sisters did not. This woman, may her soul rest in peace, she understood. In fact, so much that we would have a night together every week. That was Friday night. I'd come over to her apartment. I was a little boy, about maybe 7, 8, maybe 6, somewhere in there, and lay on the floor and look at television. And we'd have popcorn, not popcorn, potato chips, and whatever else, a little hors d'oeuvre, little nothing. It was nothing, but it was about love. See, when you take that out of the equation, and Oshun brings down love to everybody. You don't have to be initiated to get the blessings of Oshun. That's the one Orisha that will listen to you. And you might have to be, you have to be initiated for Batalan, Ogun, Shango, and the rest of them to hear you. You have to be initiated into Orisha. And then you go the next step into Ifa. See, a lot of people don't even know that. There's 2 steps, and in fact, after that, there's different cults that you can be initiated into that bring you, they say closer to the divine, or more. That's what you can do. But if the divine is not inside of you, no initiation in the world is going to make a difference.
Okay.
If you don't have it there, if you don't want it to be there.
Hey, let me say this. Anybody in the chat, I'ma love. Thanks for coming through. Peace. Anthony, only from the pro-black perspective. Look, if anybody in the chat have any questions, let us know. Let us know if you have any questions. The Bible will be more than happy. The Bible will be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Because we were talking earlier today, and it was something that we were going to get into, and he just mentioned EFOP. And I already know Anthony McPhail, Baba, he is your source for knowing stuff when other people don't, right? So me and him, we were discussing Anansi, and I know Baba is EFOP, right? Anthony, do you know Anansi, the spider god from Ghana? Do you know Anansi? And and the reason I asked Baba, right? And I know Anansi and the Ifa and all that would be, but I just want to know that any connections to our spiritual systems, even though they may be different, right? Even though they may have different names, even though they may have different names of the gods, different games or whatever, but
I'm going to make it a point to, not to cut you off, I'm going to make it a point to do research on that, because I call a guy named fellow that I know who lives in Ghana. He's in Ghana, and I connected with him. And he laughed. He said, "Oh, that's like if you believe in Jesus." Sometimes people go beyond. They forget the foundation.
I have a question for you, Baba, when you finish. Just to let you know, I have a question for you.
There's nothing wrong with listening to the concept of Jesus or the gospel of. There's nothing wrong with that, because it's certain truth. Every Sunday night, there's a guy that comes on. I forget his name now. He speaks about. In fact, I'm going to get his name so when I come back, I'm going to make mention of him. Well, he's a young white fellow, and he talks about. He's a Christian, and I listen to him because he makes a lot of good sense. I mean, you don't have to be quoting chapter and verse every time you twist and turn, but truth is what it is. Christianity came from Ifa. Islam came out of Ifa. See, a lot of people don't even know that. They don't know it because everybody's going to their corner and saying, "My corner is the best corner in the world." And you can't tell me that because of my corner. All praise to Allah. I give respect. I don't disrespect. A buddy of mine, we're friends. He owns a store, and he comes from some country in India. He's a Muslim. He hasn't been Muslim. I didn't know it. I said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear it." And I was sincere. He knew I was sincere. And we talk. Our religion has nothing to do with spirit. I mean, we showcase the religion say this is what that be the case. I was baptized a Baptist at one time. I was confirmed a Catholic at one time because I've been in search of the Most High, not realizing He's sitting right inside of me. But I went to E5 because that particular door was opened for me. I was able to see inside and see. I see the various wonders, what I can do to enrich mankind, what I can do to help someone.
So let me get to this question for you right quick, Pabiani. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Told you we had a question for you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the first one I'm gonna go. Only from the pro-black perspective. Most of those trickster stories come from Africa. When you see that Brer Rabbit, don't throw me in the briar patch. Most of those come from Africa. Matter of fact, if you watch who's great at this, I give everybody credit for what they do. Each one teach one. They had a couple specials on it. Like most of those come from like Ghana. Okay, so this is the question for you, Pabiani, from the pro-black perspective. He asked, what was meant by we should be touched by male and female energy?
Well, that's who we are anyway. Well, in every man, there's a woman. In every woman, there's a man. There's yin and yang. It's who you address and who you allow to surface and to be. Okay? You're not an amoeba. You're not a one-cell protozoa. So it took two entities to bring you here in two different aspects, male and female. We were cradled in the womb, but we had to have a sperm to fertilize the egg in the fallopian tube as it came down to us to grasp into the womb to grow, to manifest into human life. So yeah, everybody's got both aspects. And you might say that he might be a little seeming feminine, but he's not really feminine. He just has certain ways. And sometimes that might come from a birth date, a number, who you are, or your name, or how you were raised. You might see a young lady who might appear to be very tomboyish or masculine, and she's not really masculine at all. That's her outer appearance. That's how she's carrying herself, and she doesn't have to be a lesbian. You know, it gets complicated than it doesn't.
Yeah, you know what? But I agree. I think just like because I always say our children need both energies because male and female is supposed to be man and woman is supposed to be in our children's life, right? And a part of the reason things is getting worse, a lot of our children, especially with our young men, but it's both. The girls need male energy just like the men need female energy. They need both energies, right? We need the male and female for our children. But there's sometimes that's where our children are the way they are because we only have one energy floating around in you know, we only have one energy in our house and amongst us. And that's a single parent. Like with me, I tell people I'm a professional single dad. Didn't want to be forever, you know. And I know I didn't give my daughter the mother that she deserved after her mother passed away, my late wife. I didn't give her the mother that she deserved when she was young. So
well, you could, let me say this. You couldn't. That's number one. Number two, or 1A on top of it before we're born on this earth, this planet that we're walking on. All of us know what we're going to face in this life. Now we forget about it. I often talk about when you're in the spiritual realm, you know every doggone thing. But once you pass through those walls, or those vaginal walls, or you call your cesarean walls, however you come through your mother's body, you forget. You forget your purpose. You forget everything. But you knew what you're going to have to deal with. I'm not saying one shouldn't have compassion and empathy for the people that are falling in a situation where there is no mother, there is no father. I'm not saying that. But that particular person knew, even though they have forgotten. I'm a single parent also. My youngest son's mother passed when he's about 18 months, 17 months away, and he's 42 now.
Yeah. You know,
so I had to be that, but I had women around, and I don't mean I had women in and out, but he was exposed to feminine women, but it still wasn't his mother.
I got you. Yeah, you know,
It was
and for me, it was some women around, you know, with me. It was this, but that's no another story. But now I've met someone and she's 19, so she's still young, so still can have someone good to make a good impression. Anthony, I remember the stories of Brer Rabbit and I know a little bit about Tar Baby, but I hadn't heard the stories of a Nancy until until I got grown. So only from the pro-black perspective, he have another question. He said, if a man doesn't have a steady relationship, how can that affect his health and mental well-being?
if he doesn't have a steady one. Then he's still, I have to like this. If he doesn't have anybody steady, that means that someone is still out there for him, or he of himself has to be able to sit. Here is where we get spiritual and doing things. We go to Oshun, there's certain rituals that have to be done, certain sacrifices need to be made to clear a pathway for that particular woman to come into his life. That is not American or the American understanding. What I just said, that would be more of an African, maybe not even Afrocentric, but an African expression of what I just said. You have to do things, say sacrifice things, bathe in things. I shouldn't use the word things in a certain bath to clear a way for that particular woman to come into your life. If you haven't been hurt, now you might have been hurt at a point in time where you're closing the doors subconsciously and don't even know it. You don't want to be bothered with that. And that's understandable. But still, how does it affect your life? You get to a certain age where you wish you had a woman. You wish you had somebody to love you. You wish you had somebody to care about you. As the expression goes, you wish you had somebody to give a good day. Okay?
Yes.
I never use God's name, but you're gonna wish you wish you had you could be in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, you look out the windows right there. And the opportunity might have happened. Like this society we live in, it makes us wonder. One can say, oh, I'm gonna go back to Africa, I'm gonna go this, that, and that. Again, it's certain rituals, certain things you need to do. You have to really truly get in touch with yourself. You have to have conversation with yourself, conversation with God. Okay? In order to come to that point. And everybody's pathway is different.
So let me ask you a question. I have a question. We were just talking about male and female energy, and now we're talking about relationships in the spiritual system, right? So if we're in the spiritual system and we study spirituality, our African spirituality, and we're teaching it to our kids, right? Will we say it best to have both energies while you're teaching the children, or is just would it just be the masculine energy good enough, the feminine energy good enough? During the process of understanding spirituality and in the process of becoming more spiritual, would it be both energies, right? Would be best.
Okay, let me just answer this to tell you this. We have been so conflicted by so much bombardment of nonsense. Everybody's not going to believe the same thing. Okay, so it always helps to find somebody, if possible. And this is a polluted society we live in, so it's some things a little difficult to really do. Find somebody that's on the same track that you're on, so everybody's on the same, same accord, so we're not getting things confused in your head, my head, or the children's head. You have to, again, in the beginning, do certain things to, put it like this to you. When a baby's born, he's christened, or whatever his blessings are put upon him. In African culture, the ones that I know, things are done to the womb, not to the womb external, but external, not internal, but certain things are done. When that child is born, he's born into something. He's coming into something. The mother, the father, they're already on one note. And certain things, sacrifices again. I'll bring the word sacrifice because things have to be done to clear away the negative energy. Because it's always trying to grab you. And many could say they understand things. I don't even know what this man is talking about. Because grandmother never taught me. If grandma didn't tell mama, and mama didn't tell you, and you out here just trying to find your way. You're trying to find a good job, you're trying to find a good this, you're trying to find things going to make your life nada. And if you don't have the utensils to make it happen, you're floundering and you're looking. And everybody's got something to sell. Everybody's got something to say. And a lot of times they're saying nothing. Absolutely nothing. You don't know which way to go. You just don't know what to do. I didn't know which way to go. Let me put it like this. I'll be honest with you. I've said this to many people. I didn't know which way to go either. Until I was in a situation that I got to beat Jesus beat out of me. I was in a relationship and I thought I was in heaven. Didn't know I was really in hell. And I didn't have any idea what was going on until somebody said, "You don't look right. You're not the same as I knew. You ever hear about seeing about yourself?" I said, "Yeah, I've heard the expression." Well, she took me to I've said this before, to a woman from Trinidad. And she read me. She said, "Oh my God." She started giving me baths. And then upon doing that, I was able to come back to myself. And when I was able to come back to myself, because they had messed with me so bad, and I'm a fanatic about a dog, as a fish is to water. That's how I love a dog. I didn't even want to be bothered with no dog. And for me not to want to be bothered with dogs, I was aware of this, but I did not know the cause. Every now and again, we're going to look at that 23rd Psalm. You're going to walk through the valley of the shadow of death and don't even know the evils of which you're going to say, "I fear no evil." You're not going to even know it's there. And you'll be happy to find that something or someone brings you out of that dilemma. Sometimes you find it in jail, and that's a bad place to find anything. Okay? Sometimes you'll find it before and you don't even have to do anything to get in that situation. Somebody can blame you. I mean, you don't have to have done anything. Someone can accuse you, and you're wrong. You're guilty by being a black person, by being a black man or whatever. You're automatically guilty because we have forgotten what to do to help ourselves as a people. As a people. And so many times people will just do things for the hell of doing things because they're wicked like that. So it takes time sometimes to find yourself. And once you find yourself, it's important not to become fanatical about it. I found myself, I was trying to save the world. Until I realized people have to want to save and help themselves. And I found myself to be a way station, a stone for a tired soul to rest. I wrote these things. I was like a stone, a rock, for you and you to come lay your head, come give your opinion, I can help you with you to nurse your own sorrows. I can't do them for you, but I can give you the equipment to help you.
Okay. Peace, what's going on, Forecast? What's up, Newly Baby? How you doing? Thank both of y'all for chiming in. Do anybody have any more questions? Anybody have any more questions about about Ifa, about spirituality?
You know what? I wish I could come through on the spiritual note. I wish everybody said, "Let me get something better. What can I do to do this, that, and the other? What kind of sacrifice?" I just wish, but I can't force that upon anybody or even suggest them to. "Oh, this is what if you don't do this, you're gonna be sorry." I can't even threaten you. That would be wrong. I just wish people to wake up. The Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, wake up. Too many people are still sleeping in bed. That's another song. They used to make music that said things to people's conscience. They used to, and that's
Yeah.
one of them.
You know what? When I look at this spirituality and this path that I've been on, and I sure appreciate you probably in it, you know. Shit, I appreciate them, dude. I even appreciate my little young daughter. But and I was in the barber shop today. It's slightly off topic, but on topic. And I'm going to do a live about this later. It's, just me, but about how we see ourselves. And it was a young man in there, and he was talking about what he wanted. He wanted to play basketball in college, right? And I mentioned an HBCU and just the look. And I thought it was a problem with an HBCU because a lot of black people have a problem with that for whatever reason. Like he said, he ain't never been to one, don't know nothing about them. But one thing that he said, and I wonder if spirituality can help with this, he just automatically thought that white was better. White people are more professional. White people know more about this than we do. White, and I'm like, wow, man. And I'm asking myself, who's teaching our youth? And I wonder, probably, and I'm asking you, like, if we talk more African spirituality, and we had more people who wanted
Well,
more,
listen,
would
listen.
we?
Who owns the media? Who do you see on television? Who do you see on the news?
Yeah, I know. But let me finish the question right quick. Then I'm gonna let you go in.
Okay.
So if we talked more and did more about African spirituality and taught the greatness of the African spirituality and what it done for our people, do you think that would help us look at ourselves any differently? I know who owns the media, but now you can go ahead and go all the way in. That's the question that I wanted to ask.
All right. Let me put it like this: the Black Panthers were not the Black Panthers they played them to be in the beginning. Okay. I woke up one morning and Fred Hampton, God rest his soul, he and I were not far apart in age. They killed that man in Chicago. I grew up in the time of the revolution. Still a revolution. The revolution was really going on. I mean, heavy. And all the revolution was about was trying to teach people something. When you step out, that's how Dr. King got killed. It's part of the revolution. Want to teach somebody, he didn't do the Christianity. But that's what happened. Same with Malcolm. People become where they're afraid to talk. They're afraid to do this, that, and the other. Okay? But we must still continue to talk. I'll come here every week. I'll come here every day and say what I have to say. Because it's important. It's very important for you to hear. And as far as white being the best, no. Black is dominant. I don't even want to get into the racial thing, but white folks are afraid of black people. We're special. This country wouldn't be this country if it wasn't for the African slave. Or for, I say, the African that was enslaved to do X, Y, and Z. This country would not be what it is at all.
I had to. That's one of the things that I told him. I asked him something that I knew it was recent. So I asked them, do they remember about COVID? And they talking about taking a vaccine. And they say, yeah. I asked them, do y'all know who created the vaccine? Of course, out of these young men's mouth, he said he didn't know, but he said some white person, but he wasn't sure. I say, you're 100% wrong, young man. And I'm not trying to ridicule him. I say, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to learn you up in here. I say his name wrong. I say once. I say, but if you look up, it was an enslaved African during the 1700s when white people was down with smallpox. It was an enslaved African named Oncemas. So they had been doing vaccines, wouldn't call it vaccines then, but they have been doing something for disease for over 1,000 years where he was from. And I want to say he was either from a region today called, it would be Ghana or Nigeria today, but wherever it was, he said all over. Their people used it. All the different tribes knew about it. And he showed white people how to do it and how to cure as they were about to die off from smallpox. But they didn't know that. So I'm like, stop thinking less of yourself. And that's what I'm wondering. Could African spirituality help some of these people that think so lowly of us? because he, that think so lowly of ourselves that could it bring a different light? Could it shine a different light on our greatness and who we are? Like you said, you're not trying to make it a racial thing. I don't even worry about those people for the most part, or other people for the most part. I'm more concerned about how we see ourselves. And that young man was just 18 years old. And that's how he see us already.
I was 18 years old when I bought a book called Drum by Kyle Armstead. I was 18. When I purchased that book, bought that book or whatever, and read it, I then understood who I was and became proud. James Brown had a record out, I'm black and I'm proud. You have to be taught this or understand it or discover it. It's like, one time my father called me black. He's dark like I'm dark like him, and my face lighter. He called me black, my behind still can't start, my face started to cry. So my father looked at me and said, looked at my mother, what's wrong with him? And tried to explain. He said, boy, so and so and so and so. But again, being brought up in an area in that time period, black was not in the North. Maybe also in the South, I don't know, but in the North, there was nothing good about being black. I would say ABC black, ABC something, black is child, African black is child, some stupid. They didn't have a way of making you feel better. They had a thing called Natanola bleaching cream. I put that on my face. I looked at it, I said, bleach cream. I said, I don't want to bleach myself. I gradually had to come to my own self. That wasn't something that was done. Oh, I went to black school, predominantly black schools, private schools, whatever. I'm very fortunate on that note. But to find out and appreciate who you are, it's a struggle. And God forbid if you have hair of a different grade, or your eyes are a different color. Oh, you got this, you got that. You start breaking down the pedigree. That's a whole nother show, But I was 18 when I figured out who I was. Found out that, in fact, I gave a book report in school about it, and the teacher turned red as me said, "You don't talk about that in this class." I looked at him, I said, "But you said you could give a book report about anything." My boy failed me. I didn't pass. I had to take senior English or whatever English they would give me 3 times. Third time was in summer school, so I could pass it. But I hadn't done anything wrong prior 2 times, except for be a black man, a young black man. That was it. Under white supervision.
I hope I see that young man again. Because I said some things that people in the barbershop didn't know. Right? I even told him about Memorial Day. A lot of people don't know about Memorial Day and how it was started. Formerly enslaved Africans started Memorial Day, right? But because I want us to think better about it. Tell them I don't want you to hate nobody. Because people you hate, you're never around them anyway. So you just end up taking your hate out. You just end up taking the hate out on the people that you love.
Let me say this to you, and people will hear it when they hear this program again. J.A. Rogers. I don't see him anymore. J.A. Rogers, a black historian. He wrote books about Africans all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
J.A. Rogers.
Yeah, I know J.A. Rogers.
Huh?
I say, yeah, I know J.A. Rogers.
Okay. Get books by him and read those books. I think he had about 5 or 6 different books. You'll learn something. And you don't even see him no more. They hit me one day. I was in the house, and his name popped in my head. That and also Frank Yerby. Frank Yerby had a book, if you don't mind reading, it's called Dahomey. Talking about Ghana and Benin and what is now Nigeria. Dahomey. And there was another one he wrote, A Darkness at Ingram's Crest. So you have to educate yourself because nobody's going to educate you. You have to get books and read. But they destroyed all that when they took away the bookstores in plain sight.
Yep.
We went to that revolution in plain sight.
Yep. You have to get everything online. Some like they just did it differently. You're right. They're trying to shut down all the bookstores. Alexander the Greek, the homosexual Greek, when he went into of Macedonia, that's what he did when he went into Egypt. He tore down libraries.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to be beneath them. They want us to see them. It's great. And like I said, I told the young man, don't hate nobody. I told the young man, look, I'm just trying to tell you so you won't think so low of yourself. And I want us to use our African spirituality so our people would know that we had some. I've heard people just say, I've heard some Christians, not a lot, very few, but I've heard them say some of the dumbest things. Thank God for slavery, because if it wasn't for slavery, we'll be in Africa worshiping a tree.
Again, not knowing who you are, that's a terrible thing.
Exactly.
You go to Oshun, ask Oshun to open the way for you. He said, where are you going to go? Oshun owns the river. She owns streams. She owns lakes. He said, what can I give her? Give her some honey. But before you give her the honey, you got to first taste that honey. She's got to see you taste that honey, and then you pour the honey in the water. That's one thing to do. I mean, many things to look forward to, but that's one thing.
One thing y'all can do is run that cash app. Ask me for Pi Benny. And y'all got my email. You want Pi Benny information. Get the information. I give you WhatsApp information so y'all can call the brother and so we can call Bible. And I'm gonna tell you right now, and I wouldn't be telling you this. This is something I know. When you talk to him, tell him the first thing you want to try is a bath. Tell him you want a bath, and I'm telling you. Tell him you want a bath. Watch how things change for you. Watch how things change for you. Things you start to see.
That bath, like that bath you got. The car came from Nigeria. That was part of. They would say part of my. They like to use the expression stash. That's part of my stash. That wasn't something I made up and found in a jar, cookie jar. Something. I get it. I import things right from out of Africa. And we'll certainly do. I and DHL. DHL is the courier. I can't send it by the U.S. Post Office because it'll get lost, stolen, or whatever. But DHL, right out of Africa. I mean, yeah, they got offices all over the world. But yeah, they put it there in 3 days, 2-3 days. I got what I spoke to them about. I talked to my connection in Africa like I'm talking to you. Does he speak with an accent? Yeah, I understand. Even if he has to repeat it. And some things are not, you can't really say it any other way. He said something to me the other day and I didn't understand the concept. Doggone, the spirit didn't bring it to me. And when I spoke to him again, I said, you know what? He said, Baba, I said, I was waiting. He said, I know the spirit would explain it to you. No, he wasn't trying to pull fast when I just didn't understand him. I didn't understand his concept. So we can do business, or you can sit and listen, but everybody should want to help themselves. Like, I made sure Bakari had something, because you can't talk about something if you haven't experienced it. And I can't be the mouthpiece and say, you know, it was real good, right, Bakari? Right. No, Bakari said, oh my God, what was
it? Yeah, but I'm telling y'all now. Look, man, we have 4.5 minutes left before this live end. Starting next week, we probably gonna go a little longer. I have to start advertising a little better during the week because we want more people in, but we want the people to hear the share this live. We want more people to understand what Bible is teaching, what Pi Benny is teaching. But we also want y'all. Well, y'all did pretty good today. Y'all asked some questions. So, do anybody have any more questions? Anything about spirituality? Anything that you want to ask Pi Benny?
Okay, they can always get my information from you, and because I do readings and things they might need. things that I won't say on the air that I would say to them, like, different things you put on you, different medicine that you wear. It's a, how can I say, it's so vast, VAST, it'll blow your mind. Because it continually blows my mind, even to this day.
Yeah.
Because every time I call Nigeria, I'm learning. So you might ask me a question. I say, yeah, there's stuff to stop you from getting shot. Really? I said, yeah. Not that you're walking around with a gun and looking to get shot, but there's stuff out there for protection. That's the main thing. You want to clean off the dirt and protect yourself. And for the gentleman to talk about his love life and want, yes, I can't say what this will do and what won't do unless certain things are done. But you could take a bath and all of a sudden Miss Wright might pop right in front of your face, look at you, and start talking. It has happened. It's been known to happen. Because everybody needs somebody.
Everybody needs somebody sometime.
Yeah, even if you don't think so.
Yeah, even if you don't think so. You're sure right about that.
So let me say the prayer, and I'm going to wish everybody a good day and a doggone good week. Majuba Ifa, Majuba Odane, Majuba Arumina, Majuba Olofia, Majuba Ali Arisha, Majuba all of our ancestors, and Majuba all Babalaos that have divine and passed away. When I say divine Ifa, because you have to have initiation in Ifa and divine to tell what's going on in your life. I mean, people can do it otherwise, but these are gentlemen that have been trained with the obeying. So I say divine and worship Ifa. So, and all your ancestors, those who have passed away. I want to salute them.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, have a good week, and I'll speak with you by the grace of God next week.
Hold on 1 second, Pat Benny. So before we go, y'all need to give Pat Benny a hand. Let's give the man a hand. Thank him for coming through. Thank him. Let him know y'all was happy that he come through. Hey, Anthony McPhail said, great show. And he said, thank you, Baba. And he said, happy Malcolm X Day. Anthony going to always show respect. That's one thing. But everybody always show respect. But Anthony studies some spiritual, some things from the continent. So
very good. Never can learn too much.
Let's say the prayer one more time before we go, Pat Benny. I'm gonna say it with you. After you say it, I'm gonna repeat it. Because I want to get
Majuba Ifa.
Majuba Ifa.
Majuba Odine.
Majuba Odine.
Majuba Orumila.
Majuba Orimala.
Majuba Olofia.
Majuba Olofia.
Majuba all the Arisha.
Majuba all the Arisha.
Majuba all our ancestors.
Majuba all the ancestors.
Majuba all Babalaos that have passed away.
And Majuba all the Babalaos that have passed away. Asheo. All right, thank you. I'm gonna give you a call, Pat Benny.
All right, good buddy. You be well. You hear?
All right, man. You do the same thing. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Take care now.
Mm-hmm. So,
Aux mode. Bluetooth mode. Bluetooth mode ready to pair.
Oh, shut up. I thank y'all for coming through. I'm gonna come back later today if don't nobody else come through. If don't nobody else do a live forecast, you doing a live, I think I'm gonna come back later. Because I want to talk about that mindset what I was talking about with the young man. Majuba Ifa, Majuba, all the Orishas and the ancestors, Ashe. And before I go, y'all let me know if y'all can hear this. Let me know if this is any better. You can't even hear it, can you? Can't even hear it.
Off mode.
Is that low? Is that low? Is it low? It's low? Okay, I know how to fix that. All right. I thank y'all for coming through. Yeah, I'm going to fix that low. It ain't going to be low later. Thank y'all for coming through. Noodle, I'm going to give you a call in a second. Peace and black power. Peace and love to everybody. Thank y'all for coming through. One love.